Welcome to Tangi's Tapestry, where spirituality, law, motherhood, and relationships weave into a rich and meaningful discussion. I'm your host, Tangi, a mother, daughter, sister, friend, and an avid entrepreneur. Join me as I share my personal journey, explore faith based discussions, and offer valuable legal insights. Each episode is designed to inspire, empower, and connect with individuals on their unique path. So let's dive into today's topic and embark on this journey together. Hey, welcome back to another episode of Tangi's Tapestry. I'm your host, Tangi, and today's episode is a special one, mainly because it is Black History Month, but also because this is not my usual release date. I normally drop an episode every second and fourth Monday. However, I'm doing this special episode release on a Saturday and at the end of the month. But things got a little crazy this month, and I felt it was still important to, give recognition and acknowledgement to Black History Month. And so I felt it was important to take a pause and acknowledge something a little deeper than just ending the month with just one episode, right? So Black history is not, to me, just about remembering the past, but it's also about recognizing our inheritance, and not just material inheritance, but spiritual, cultural, and even moral inheritance. And as somebody who works in the area of legal planning or legacy planning, I should say, I can't help but think about this month through a different lens of legacy planning. So, to me, what does that look like? Well, it's about what's been handed down to us, what have we survived, and what are we responsible for building next. I have a foundational scripture for this episode, which is Psalm 78:4. And it's, we will not hide these truths from our children. We will tell the next generation about the glorious deeds of the Lord, about his power and his mighty wonders. This verse reminds us that legacy is all about being intentional. It's about what we tell our next generation. It's about how we preserve our history and how we carry it forward for generations to come. And of course, none of us have arrived here independently, but we stand on the shoulders of people who had to endure injustices. They had to worship through oppression. They built their businesses with limited access. They pursued education when the doors were closed to them. And they had to hold their families together under very extreme pressure. So, Black history is not just about struggle, it's about resilience. It is faith that has persisted. It is excellence that has refused to be erased. And it's families who believed in a future they might not fully see. So, whether we fully recognize it or not, that perseverance is part of our inheritance. It's part of our history. So, when I think about legacy, I don't just think about property or assets. No, legacy is values, faith, work ethic, education, character, and courage. Some generations didn't have the opportunity to transfer wealth in traditional ways, but they transferred strength, they transferred faith, and they transferred survival skills. And so now many of us today are in a different position because of that transferred strength and that transferred faith and those transferred survival skills. We have the tools today, like legal tools, financial tools, educational tools that previous generations just were denied access to. So the question then becomes, what will you do with that access? You see, Black history is not only about reflection, it's about responsibility. If resilience was handed to us, what will we hand forward? Will we build generational stability, have the hard conversations about planning, preserve family land, create Black owned businesses, or even document our history and our accomplishments? You see, legacy requires intention. Proverbs 3:22 reminds us that good people leave an inheritance to their grandchildren. So you see, inheritance isn't accidental, it's planned. So as Black History Month comes to a close, I encourage you to think about legacy not just as something you received, but something you are actively shaping. Because believe it or not, you are someone's history in the making. You are someone's foundation, and you are someone's shoulders one day. So Black history did not just end with the civil rights movement, but it continues today in boardrooms, classrooms, courtrooms, churches, and even in our very own households. And perhaps one of the greatest ways to honor those who came before us is to build intentionally for those who come after us. So thank you for listening to this special episode of Tangi's Tapestry. Until next time, remember, legacy is not just what we inherit, it is what we choose to leave behind. Y'all have a blessed day. Thank you for joining me on this journey through Tangi's Tapestry. I hope you enjoyed this week's episode. Remember, new episodes drop every second and fourth Monday, so be sure to subscribe and stay tuned for more heartfelt discussions, personal stories, and valuable legal insight. If you enjoyed this episode, please consider sharing it with your family, friends, and followers. Your support means the world to me as I strive to create meaningful content that inspires and empowers. Well, until next time, take care and remember to weave your own unique story into the tapestry of life. See you on the next episode of Tangi's Tapestry.